What's up, everybody? Who is excited for Critical Role's 10-year anniversary panel? Welcome to IGN Live, and please join me in welcoming the cast of Critical Role, starting with Matthew Mercer. And we have Laura Bailey. Liam O'Brien, please join us on the stage. And we have Taliesin Jaffe. Next up, we have the one and only Marisha Ray. And finally, Travis Willingham. Oh, you guys, 10 years. 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
What was the moment where all of you realized that this was going to be in your lives for just the foreseeable future?
Well, I mean, like outside of the company and chaos of this, I think a few months into just playing at home, we knew we'd be playing for forever. But what would we consider the moment we went, uh-oh?
Is it once Sam Riegel stopped treating it like a side gig?
Yes, we're gonna bag on Sam because he's not
He's
here.
not here to defend himself.
That's what you get.
The actor in me is waiting for it to end at any moment. I'm just like, every gig goes away. I'm like, oh yeah, any day now. Yep. So. Yeah.
I think in that first year, the very first few episodes, when like more than 5,000 people were watching an episode, I was like, uh-oh. Because I wasn't expecting that at all. And then that number just kept growing. And then the first of, those are my nipples. And then when we started doing stuff like this and a comic book came around, yeah, that's when we were like, this might be a little bit more.
That's a valid
I
point.
feel like it was like some of our first convention appearances, because especially in those early days of Twitch, we didn't fully understand the difference between concurrent viewers and total viewers. So we're like, oh, just 5,000 people. And then we go to a convention and like the room is filled and we're like, how do you know us? You're not watching. How?
All right, now that we've got the cast warmed up, everybody in the audience, you may have seen, or I hope you saw, a QR code as you were coming into the theater. If you have a question for the Critical Role cast, please submit it at that QR code, and we will select 3 at the end of the panel. Everybody who asks a question will get a Core Daggerheart set.
They will? Those are sold out. What?
Make him good.
All right, y'all, I'm sure this question
Hold on, I gotta ask a question.
Is it, wait, everybody that asks a question or everybody whose question we answer?
So there will be 3 people. If we can't get to everybody's question, they'll still get a core set, because like our timing's not their fault. Laura, on the assist, that was incredible, because they needed to know that.
You know, I kind of do merch here, so I'm used to these kind of things.
These guys are always here to support me. All right, y'all, this one's gonna be hard. We're starting on the hard-hitting questions because, again, 10 years, longer friendships. What is the hardest you have laughed throughout the last 10 years, throughout all the hijinks, all of the shenanigans? What has been the moment that got you the most?
Oh, that like surprised us?
Or that
Or
made you laugh.
laugh the hardest?
Oh.
It might have been you. It might have been you. Jumping off a 1,000-foot cliff to your death.
I knew it.
I think I had to actively restrain my face from laughing because Ashley kept hitting me going, stop laughing! She's dead! That's not funny! Like, it is!
Dead.
Spoilers.
They told us that we couldn't say bad stuff right before we came on here, and all the stuff that's made me laugh the most is deeply inappropriate.
Is shiver and is that inappropriate?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, look, quiff
Quiff.
is a nonsense word that has no true definition.
That's
so
true.
I think that is entirely viable.
Yeah. And then what was the most recent one that was under the same umbrella category? Spread your legs.
Spread your legs and fly.
Spread your legs and stretch your wings.
You know what I was going for.
We all knew what you were going for.
We know where you
Total.
got.
The resignation to it happened. I'm letting it hit me. It will live forever. There's nothing I could do about it.
I'm also deeply fond of just a random, not in character moment where I went to eat trail mix at our table, and this one just jerked my forearm into my mouth.
It never fails.
I'm trying to think of it. Like, there's so much good stuff that no one's like off camera. It's almost everything Sam has ever done. Sam explaining what FCG's name means, and then explaining who his siblings
slow
were.
build.
It was such a burn. It was amazing.
Robbie Damon almost died hearing that explanation.
Actually, shout out to Robbie Damon. Towards the end of campaign 3, he had a single response to Sam where he just said, "No." And the build up and the payoff was so perfect. Like someone who had spent their life training as a performer put all their skill and actusy into that one to make that line hit. I lost everything.
Studied the blade, one hit kill.
Yeah.
The quiff moment actually got edited into one of our videos for B-roll for you embarrassing your wife. And they sent it to me for watched out, and I was like, can we put this on the internet? And they're like, they already did. I was like, okay, all right, well.
It's a nonsense word. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It happened already. Have there ever been fans that you were surprised to learn watched your show? Like, you know, just talking to somebody randomly and they're like, oh my God, you're you. And you're like, how do you know me?
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
We had a neighbor that we got to know and had over for a glass of wine and just be like, oh, it's good to know the neighbors in your neighborhood. And I think it was 2 hours into the evening where they eventually went like, by the way, thank you for campaign 2. It got me through the pandemic. And we're like,
It's true. He was asking us no questions about ourselves, and I found it deeply suspicious. And it's because he knew everything about us. I was like, what do you do? He was like, oh, you know, I like to play drums. I like to direct. And I'd be like, do you want to ask me what? Okay, no. All right.
I think the random pop-ups, I went into a Best Buy recently to get a replacement power cable for a TV and was in the checkout process and was getting my receipt. And I was like, thank you so much, I appreciate it. He goes, it's been my pleasure, Sir Gregory Strongjaw. I was like, it's like the Fight Club handshake. Can't leave now, I gotta talk to you.
Yeah, I'd also say all of the other people who are like famous, who then we kind of bring into our lives. Like Christian Navarro, I feel like was a really good example of that, where he like hit us up over Instagram and was like, I love you guys. And we're like, you're too busy.
Tom Morello is another one.
Yeah, same.
Grew up listening to Rage and then finding out he watched our show and is a huge D&D fan. And we're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Sure.
So unfortunately, Ashley was not able to join us today, but one of my very, very favorite things that y'all do, out of all of the remarkable things that y'all do, is the Critical Role Foundation. You have had 5 great years helping out so many people in so many different ways. How would you say the foundation has evolved since its original inception?
I mean, the breadth of partners, like charity partners that we've met over the years, has continued to grow in incredible ways. Seeing the impact that this community has had in the world. Like, it was one of those, we started with charity when we were streaming way at the very beginning. And so when we had our own company and our own momentum, it was important to continue that. And we learned very quickly how hard it is to make a charity. The paperwork and time and investment is its own endeavor. But over the years, watching just the community support all these amazing charity partners and all these wonderful endeavors and all these wonderful people that come to help and make it happen has been the thing I'm probably most proud of. Sorry. The thing.
Fair, super fair.
No, for me, it's the thing I'm most proud of. And
It
yeah,
wasn't
we're already
weird until you did that.
Meaning I'm proud of so many things that we've done. I'm not discounting the animated series and everything else.
You're allowed to have a favorite kid, just don't say it out loud. Man. That's bad parenting.
I'm done.
You know, Taliesin, it's great that you interjected with that because this is a choose your darling question. So, thinking back throughout all the campaigns and all of the characters that you've rolled, think up which has been your absolute favorite, and
How dare you?
I'm not sorry. Think back to your very favorite. You will choose your favorite child or a couple. I don't know. It's your life. This is your panel. But now take that character, and how do you think they would respond to all of this, to it being 10 years, to being just so central and such a part of the cultural zeitgeist? Somebody zoom in on Matt's face.
You know, for Grog, I'm still alive? Yes! Easy.
Oh, okay. Well, look. I mean, 10 years is like nothing, right? I mean, we could go on for like ever. You know, because I have so much more that I want to do and so much more that I want to say. And these guys are pretty wonderful, so I'm glad to be here with them.
Yeah, I feel like Bo would be like, doing ign-live, sell out.
I'm cheating. All my characters are smug, so it's kind of going to be, it's the same answer all the way across. But, I mean, since we're all going there, I think Caduceus would just be, I mean, this feels inevitable, really. Good things just, when left to their own, will keep going and grow. And it's just as long as it stays good and pure. Despite the rest of you, I feel like it could really do that.
I think Caleb would be very proud of the fact that in a very complicated world with so much strife and injustice and problems that some good can still be done. And then he would see all of you and leave the room immediately and find a cat cafe with no one else in it, and he would just depressurize.
Also, I see Sprinkle in the audience, so. Hi, bestie.
Do you need an EMT?
You have something.
I think Esecthelis would be extremely uncomfortable with the amount of attention, partially because, like me, Matt, he dislikes being perceived to a certain degree. And also, this is very bad for him trying to hide from the dynasty and his previous crimes. So he would leave immediately and then change his appearance and vanish.
Yes, but what about Henry Crabgrass?
Is this okay?
I think that is completely okay. Thank you very much.
Consent's important, friends.
You all are such good sports, thank you. So unfortunately, Ashley Johnson and Sam Riegel were not able to join us today. However, However, that makes this the perfect opportunity to say nice things about them behind their backs. Go.
Ashley smells nice.
Ashley smells nice. Sam smells okay.
Sam gets cold very easily.
He does.
And he
These are
always
nice
has.
things
He'll
to
literally
respect.
take our jackets from us
Yeah.
so that he's warmer. It's the cutest. Also, he has the most heart, and he hides it so well.
I commend Ashley for committing to the bit of using dice she can't see. It's really just a leap of faith what those numbers are.
See, Ashley is one of those people that is so absurdly, innately talented, but under no circumstances will she believe that and tout it, to where all of us have to say it loudly on a stage when she's not present. But she is so wonderful and so sweet. Sam's fine.
Yeah. Ashley's low-key the funniest person that I know. Because she doesn't try to be funny, and that's what makes it funnier. And we have Sam Riegel in our cast, but
No, it's an interesting point. Ashley's sense of humor and really kind of her personality when you get to the core of it it's very Twin Peaks. It's very just odd and off-center in a way that you're not expecting, and when it catches you, you're like,
yeah. She'll do something weird, especially like in our VO sessions. She'll like do something weird, and then we'll all stare at her, and she goes, I don't know. And then it's like, it's just so funny.
She's so strange and wonderful in our group records for our animated series. Her choices are so strange. For Sam, you all know how talented he is. He is also maybe one of the hardest workers I've ever met. Dedicated, committed, but don't tell him because he's already hard enough to control.
I'm convinced he has a twin, and his just commitment to the bit of just pretending that there isn't a second.
The prestige.
Oh yeah.
So this one might be difficult because in the same way that you guys have been doing charity since your inception, you have also listened to the fans all throughout your run. How have fans, either directly or indirectly, influenced the world of Exandria as you have gone through your stories?
I feel like they had to have. I mean, there's so many, especially when we first started and, when we were doing it live. And after, we would do the stream, I would go on social media and see immediate fan art of what had happened. And it was mind-blowing. And it did, because I feel like it was kind of cyclical and it would affect the way that I saw things when I saw somebody else's visual of it. So, yeah.
looking at me? Okay, I'll go next. I mean, it's hard not to. Many of us grew up as fans, and so experiencing the love of being part of fandom and then somehow accidentally creating one, being invested in that has been really, really fulfilling. But the fan art's been incredible. Hearing people's stories in person and conventions about how they've made Exandria their own has been amazing. Listening to the parts of the world that people haven't seen yet and want to explore is really inspiring for how I want to build things in the future. And a lot of people in the community that ended up coming in professionally and then collaborating with us and stuff we're doing with Darrington. And yeah, I mean, at a certain point, we're all fans of what we do, and people who are fans of each other, we become fans of theirs, and we get to make things that we're all fans of. It's absurd. None of this makes sense.
If you're really lazy at making a backstory like I am, you just wait until the first couple of episodes go by, and then all the theories and speculation out there, you just cherry pick the ones you want. Oh, that's a great idea. That's definitely mine. Oh, yeah, that's what a great mystery. You were right. You were right. And that's what I do.
The reverse law.
I make all of you the writers.
I always did the opposite. I would see people being like, he really should go. And I'd be like, Well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I make a point of not reading or looking at anything anybody ever says ever, because I figure if I like it, hopefully they will too. And
Please answer my texts.
oh yeah, no, it's happening eventually. But the art and the cosplay, actually, I hadn't even thought about that. The art definitely gets in my head, and once it's there, it doesn't leave.
I also think just the fact that you guys are here today and that so many people have followed along and support and are avid about this fills me with a sense, all of us, but fills me with a sense of responsibility and gratitude and makes me work harder. So there's never a day where I forget how rare a thing it is that so many people have joined us for this trip. And so everything that we do in every aspect, whether we're sitting at the table and playing together or deciding things for the future of CR or, just figuring out next steps, it's never, the thought of you guys is never gone because we know how fortunate this is. And so we really want to be worthy of the trip.
So last year when y'all joined us for IGN Live, we couldn't talk about anything, so this is a very refreshing change of pace. However, I do love that dance of question. We can't answer that. Everybody look at Travis and Matt and make sure it's okay to say what we're saying. Is it? No? No? Just kidding. Just kidding. That didn't happen. But in that vein, you guys have found yourself with your own little animation empire. You've got... You've been partnering with Titmouse since Vox Machina premiered. You've got Mighty Nine on the horizon. What has that been like for all of you? Because, again, as this has evolved, you've gotten more and more fans and grown and expanded, but the series have taken that even further. And what has that been like for all of you?
I can say just from the start, for Legend of Vox Machina, we started with all of the characters together. They were already formed as a group. And we've mentioned a few times that for Mighty Nine, we're going to start with more of a session zero feel. You'll find characters individually slowly coming together, realizing that maybe they don't fit very well. And it's a totally new approach. We're also taking a fresh look at how those interactions happen. We've said this before as well, that it's a fresh approach. It's new. There are going to be some changes. Prepare yourself. But it's going to be wonderful. We have recorded the entire first and second season. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to be hitting all of the moments that you as fans and we as players and as GMs would want to see in those shows, but it was a chance for us to really make it fresh and interesting in case people are coming to Mighty Nine for the very first time. But how has it been for you all putting the skin of those characters back on?
I feel like I'm just a geek for it. We got together and watched the first 3 episodes together of Mighty Nine, so we could sell. And it was so much fun to watch it. And I mean, I feel like it feels like we just kind of made it for ourselves as you know what I mean? And we get to share it because we were all just so excited to watch it together, and I cannot wait to share it with everybody else. It's driving me crazy to not let you see it yet.
Yeah, we should have some really cool updates this summer, so we'll stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's
Everybody's
wild.
so good. You're so good in it, Marisha. You're so good. You're so good. Everybody's so good.
It's crazy because you watch it and I found moments forgetting that it was us doing the voices. You get so entranced in it, and then you're just watching oh look, Jester did the thing. Oh look, Molly did the thing. So it's cool.
we've been working on it all this time and seen it through all these different stages, and still, like a few weeks ago, I was sitting in my home office where my booth is and looking at, had to do some pickups and just watching footage go by going, you guys are going to be real happy. It's came out real well.
It's a wild thing, especially for our multiple personality characters in our heads, to be at times working on Bell's Hells, the show, and then we were also recording Mighty Nine Animated, and we're working on season 4 of Legend of Vox Machina. All of this stuff was happening. So anytime you were watching the live stream of Bell's Hells and we slipped in and out of voices, that's because things were happening that day or that week. And it's been an absolute blast. So we look back at the last 10 years of stories and we have no intention of leaving those characters alone. If it's not in an animated series or an animated feature or continued live shows around the world, that's what we're really interested in doing. Stop it. I did that for Ashley because she's not here. But yeah, we're going to continue putting on those hats and having fun.
Because Laura started that with the description of putting the skins on, when you talked about jumping between thing to thing, I just mental skins peeling off. Anyway, let's hear a round of applause for Titmouse.
I will say, about putting skins on and off of these characters, Laura puts on her Laura's skin to hide the jester that's always there.
I believe it.
Kind of feels like that, for real.
All right, we are gonna hop to fan questions in just 1 second. I've got one last question for y'all, and like several of them, it's probably gonna be complicated. So, again, we have been here for 10 years. You guys have been crushing it for a decade now. And again, shifted through campaigns to your own tabletop, to your own animation empire. What's next? Is it a nap?
That'd be great. I'd love a nap.
No.
Is there a bed backstage?
Yes.
We're not allowed to have those. Something we've been teasing for a while is the interest in working on interactive projects, video games. Wow, there's a desire for that? That's amazing. We had a chance to work with Abu Bakr Salim and Surgeon Studios along with Ridley Scott on Tales of Kinzera, which was amazing. That was sort of our first foray into just seeing what goes on into making one of those things. And it's actually a good opportunity to level set because the first offering that will be coming out a bit later this year is actually not something set in Exandria. It's not a Critical Role IP. Even though those projects are still coming, we'll have more information on that again this summer, just because I talk too much as it is. But all that stuff will be forthcoming, and as everybody has seen, we have been overwhelmed with the amazing response to Daggerheart, our TTRPG from Darrington Press. Just thrilled with how many people are jumping in, finding it easy to play, world building together collaboratively from a narrative sense, and we are just so excited that people are adopting it and taking to it and finding themselves in that game. So I think we'll be making more games and telling more stories and bringing more and more people in so they can tell their stories.
That's the key too. We've spent 10 years building this ourselves, and we're in a very privileged position to now kind of expand that umbrella into other people and other friends. And we've been kind of dallying with that as the years go on and bringing in more wonderful worlds and other groups to share their love of storytelling together. And it seems to be going okay. So I think we'll keep stepping in that direction too.
And if you haven't checked it out, we have 2 episodes out currently of Age of Umbra. So if you want a little sample of how Daggerheart runs, and especially with the campaign frame that Matt created, which is very, very dark. Yeah! Fun fact, all of this that we shot, by the way, this opening title sequence, this is all practical. We rented a rain stage, and these are actual miniatures. Like Matt's Dwarven Forge minis. So very old school Hollywood where you shoot plates on a miniature set. And then, shout out Brian Forrest and crew. That's our friend Vanessa. And then, so it's very old school the way we did this, where we shot plates of the miniature sets and then put that.
Did we say we make this stuff for us? We make it for us.
I didn't mean to geek out about a little BTS on this, but
yes, you did.
but
Always geek out.
Anyway, you should check it out. And then, of course, plenty more content to come, not limited to Campaign 4. So, it will happen.
It was a promise, but it sounded like a threat.
Those are the best ones.
All right, we are going to move into fan questions. I suspect most of you will have a great time with this first one. If your name is called and I ask your question, after the panel is over, please come up to the stage. First up, we have Chris B. What is the most frustrated you've ever been with Matt during a campaign?
I'll kick this off. Every one of them. He frustrates me every day.
Where's Chris B? Are you here? Raise your hand. Hi. Thank you for your question.
I don't think it's fair to Matt. I think the most frustrated I ever was with you was when I was pregnant. And it wasn't your fault, but I just couldn't hit you. I wasn't hitting in a battle, and I just remember being so enraged. And you went, oh, you didn't hit. It's okay. Like you did this like sympathetic, like, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump across this table.
That's very valid. I'm sorry.
That rage is real, you guys. It's real.
I'll take it now.
I wish you would take it out on Mercer next time, because then I don't, get the drive home where I'm like, you did so good.
I remember in Campaign 1, we were kind of in this like lull of the campaign, kind of in the middle, and we were a little conflicted on what to do. Like we didn't know, where do we go? Who's the bad guy? What are we supposed to do next? And I remember you being like, I swear to you, just wait. And then like the next episode, all the dragons attacked Amon and destroyed everything. And then, yeah.
I'm struggling. I can't really think of real, I can't think of a moment that we're all just pulling this stuff out of our butts. I mean, how can you be frustrated when it's like decided live in the moment? I think the only time I'm really frustrated with you is when you don't take a break, when you don't give yourself a break, which is often.
I don't get frustrated for you for that. Work forever. Continue to manufacture us joy.
Yes, Mr. CEO. Yes, sir.
I also have nothing to say, and you know that I'm telling the truth because my face tells you exactly how I feel about Matt when we're playing. People have pointed out that I just smile like a silly bitch when he's up there painting these beautiful worlds. I'm just like, Travis, you're almost dead. I know. It's the best.
I got nothing. I got nothing, including previous games before we were online.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I'll try harder.
You could be meaner on occasion. Sometimes like hit harder, hit her right here.
I'll remember this.
I hope so. Leave a mark.
All right, guys, unfortunately, we only had time for that one fan question. However, Chris B, Amelia A, and Christina G, please come up to the stage.
Yay!
Do it.
What?
You were talking.
No, I
said
yay,
sprinkle.
Oh, sprinkle. I didn't want to interrupt you. Welcome to Live Show, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us here at the Critical Role 10-year anniversary panel at IGN Live.
Thank you so much.
You guys are the best. Thank you.